Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Analytics with Amrita. So today we are going to solve one more question on SQL, that is write a query to print subcategories where we have all three kinds of returns. That means others, the return type should be others, bad quality and wrong items. Okay, so there is a table name as return and the other table name as orders, from where we have to find all these things. So first we will check our returns table. Select star from returns. Let's see how many orders we have here. So we have 296 orders, and because here we are they are asking about all three kinds of returns. So let's see how many returns type we have in our returns table. So we will put here distinct to find different types of, like how many types of returns region we have in our returns table, because here you can see there are two columns, order ID and return region. So we have, first we will find what are the different types of return reasons we have in our returns tables. For that we will use distinct, and which column we will use, return reason. Why? Because we have to find different kind of return reasons. That's why we will put here return reason. We will write select distinct return reason. Return reason. And now the question is arising why the square bracket is coming, because there is a space between the column name, the return space reason. If there is no space, then there will be no square bracket. Okay, so this is the reason why the square bracket is coming. So we have only three return reasons, three different type of return reason. Okay, so now we will check our orders tables. So for that we will write select star from orders. Okay, let's run this query and see how many orders we have in our orders table. We have 9,994 rows. Okay, so what we now let's go to our question again. Now let's bifurcate our questions first, because now it's time to solve our query. The question, write a query to print subcategories. Okay, now first this is our first part, to print subcategory names. Now the second part is where all three kinds of returns. That means we have to print all those subcategories where these three kinds of return reasons are available. That means here, as you see, there is category column, there is a subcategory column. So as you can see, there are categories: machine, accessories, phone, chairs, furnishing, bookcase. For these only print those subcategories where all these three kinds of return regions are available. That means the order returned don't have only just one return reason or two return reason. That means it shouldn't mention only if others is, if there is a subcategory called machine. Okay, so in machine, if others is mentioned in return table, that will not qualify. If for machine only bad quality is mentioned, that will also not qualify for this query. If these two reasons are mentioned but wrong items is not mentioned, that is also. Subcategory machine only qualify when all the three columns, all these three reasons are available in returns table for this subcategory. Okay, to find first part, let's solve our first part first. What we have to find, we have to find print subcategories. Then we will write select from, first we will write from orders. Now we will write our subcategory. Now because we have to join both the tables, so we are using alias, so we will write here o dot subcategory. Now we will join in our second table returns by using inner join, so that our only those like the common data will come. Okay, for that reason we will use inner join. So we will join orders table to returns table. Okay, so we will write returns, we will alias it with r. On what basis we are joining? We are joining orders table on the basis of order ID. Here you can check, like there is no distance between, there is no gap in orders an ID. That means like here if you see there is a order underscore ID. Okay, let me first, sorry, if you see the order ID is order underscore ID, where in returns table there is a return space reason. That's why the square bracket is coming here, and the square bracket will not come here when we type this. Okay, so space r dot order ID. Here you can see there is a space in between order and ID, so the square bracket will come here automatically. Okay, we are joining both the tables on the basis of order IDs. Okay, and now we have to print on the result should be on the basis of subcategory. So we will group by our subcategory on the basis of subcategory. Okay, so o dot subcategory. Now we will run our query. So as you can see, when we are not putting this condition, how many rows we are getting? We are getting 17 rows, because there is a condition to where we have to find three kinds of returns. So for that we will put here having we will use, because we have to find reason, so we will put distinct reason, having distinct reason. What is the count? 3 count, right? Here we mention where we have all 3 kinds of returns, so there should be greater than or equal to 3. So here we can not mention greater than, because only 3 specifically here mentioned 3. Okay, and as we have already checked in returns table as well, only 3 return reasons are there. If there are more than 3 reasons, then we should put here greater than, if it was mentioned, instead of like all 3 kind of returns. If it was mentioned like we can have more than 3 kinds of returns, so we will mention here greater than sign, but here it is not mentioned more than 3 kinds of returns, so we will not be using greater than. Okay, now as you can see there is a syntax error coming nearby distinct. Why? Because here we are using number, we are using a condition as one row. Okay, we are using number equal to number, and here we are using distinct return. When we use when we run this query, we were getting 3 rows, but here it was mentioned like where the count is coming. Here we are mentioning the count should be 3, so for that we will use here count. We will use count of distinct return reason when we write this thing. Okay, when we put count distinct, that means in front of all these subcategories their account will come here. Okay, let's see, let's instead of this, if we put let's put count return reason, return r dot return reason. Okay, let's copy this thing from here so that the error will not come. Okay, let's run this. Now we will see how many return reason we have. Now you can see there are so many unknown number of counts are coming, right? Like 6140. So how we can find a distinct this one, like how many different kind of returns are coming? Because here for accessories 61 reasons are present in the database, and for appliance there are 40 uh, 40 return reasons are mentioned here. That's why the count is coming as 40. Okay, so let's see, let's put distinct here, then we will get how many distinct um, count it has. For accessory there are three return reasons are present, whereas if you check bookcase only 2 return reasons are present. Doesn't matter, it's the count should be 3, that then only it will come here. Okay, there are one also, there are two. If we will run this query, then we will get only those orders where 3 counts are coming. Okay, let's execute this. As you can see, now the column have only 3. So that means this the second part of the question, where it was mentioned all 3 kinds of return, this question, this part is also solved here. But as it was right saying that only we have to print only subcategories, so we will remove this thing from here and we will write this much only. And as you have seen here, this is the same thing which I was using here, right, to print a thing, right? If you see, this is the things which I was using here. So we will remove this thing. This is how we can approach these kind of questions, and this is the easiest way to solve these kind of questions. Okay, so let me run this again. Now you are getting only subcategories. This is how we can solve these kind of questions. Thank you.